Let's come in here and take that Tesla. Hey. Oh man, we just about to get started. Why you always come in here and take Daddy's Hot Wheel Tesla? The Hot Wheels Tesla. Fresh out the gate. What's happening, YouTube? Yes, we are in the building. I got my little munchkin here before she go take a little bit of a nap. And she's just sitting here chilling with me. I got this Hot Wheels decast that sits right there behind me. My homeboy sent it to me. And Elle loves to come in this studio and grab stuff. Ain't that right? Yeah. You love to come in here. So, Elle, you know what we're talking about tonight, baby? We're talking about Marvel and Loki. And I'm going to have the whole crew in here to talk about Loki and the Avengers. You ready? No, you just want you a Tesla, huh? We're not giving you the Tesla when you turn 6. Oh, you ready to go? Ready to go?
She might be driving a flying car by the time she turns 16.
I know. They probably have like a drone car by the time she's 16. All right, baby. I'm going to send you back in there with mommy. Tell the people bye. Say bye-bye, people. Say bye-bye. Bye-bye. See her eyes just light up for everything in this room.
Mm-hmm.
Go in there to mommy. Huh? You got to go in there with mommy. You got to get out of here. This is not a place for babies because we about to use all kinds of words you don't know yet. That's Uncle Larry. What's up, my people in the chat? Moochella, D-Weave, Sloppy Ninja, all here to hear us talk about Loki. This was, in my opinion, the best episode so far. They answered a few questions. They talked a little bit of stuff about some different things. And this one was full of Easter eggs. And I think I caught most of them. But we're going to find out, and we're certainly going to talk about it. So, Larry, how did you like this episode?
It was pretty good. They had some surprises, and there were a couple of things that were really predictable once the scene was set up. But for the most part, it was a really good episode. There were probably a lot of Easter eggs that I just did not catch. But
that's what you got me for. You know what I'm saying? That's what you got me and Elle for. Ain't that right, baby? We were sitting in here just going through all the little Easter eggs, trying to figure out how we could entertain the nerd fandom. There's your mommy. Yay! Yay! All right, she's out of here. Time to get to work. And so, if you guys, they haven't done it the whole season so far, but to this episode, there was a mid-credit, and I hope you watched it. But guess what? If you didn't, I got it for you, man. And the reason I'm gonna start with that is because a lot of the things that happened in the episode relate back to what happened to Loki in his mid-credit scene. So, Larry, let's kick this thing off and go ahead and watch this mid-credit, and then we'll come back and we'll break on down into a song and dance talking about Loki episode 4.
This is hell. Am I dead?
Not yet. But you will be unless you come with us.
Woo! I love the score on that one too, man. It's like they took Loki's song and kind of made it a little dark and mixed it with the Avengers traditional theme song. Woo-wee! Let's get into
now. My question is,
let's go.
Are we about to have all the little racist fanboys pissed off? Did it look like there was a black Thor in there? Because he looked like he was holding Mjolnir.
Oh my God, Larry, it went all past you, didn't it, my brother? Since I opened with that, I was gonna save it for the end because there's a lot of Easter eggs to. Let's just go ahead and look at it right now. No, it's not the Black Thor, and Larry. This is what they call it. It's the prideful Loki. That's
the prideful Loki.
Prideful Loki. Everything you see here is a form of Loki, even the crocodile.
Well, I was thinking that because the little boy looked like, I didn't even notice the crocodile before, but the little boy looked like Loki. The dude had the Loki horns, but I was like, I saw the black dude. I didn't think he was a Loki. But then I saw him with the hammer, so I was thinking, okay, maybe he's a black version of Thor or something.
No, that's the prideful Loki. He's in the lure of the mythology from which Odin and the Scandinavian religion is basically where they get some of this this content from. And that particular older fellow who's playing Loki, that's Loki straight from the comic books. That's Loki's outfit in the comics. But I'm glad they stuck the prideful Loki in there. And basically, prideful folks in the Viking Scandinavian religion, the prideful folks were the ones who basically was the Army Rangers. They was the ones who would go out on the front lines and attack other Viking ships. So we've got one of those Lokis up in this piece. And look who we showed up in the piece, ladies and gentlemen, straight from Marvel Studios himself. It's the brother, B. Avery. B. Avery, how you doing, my brother?
I'm doing pretty good, gentlemen. I'm doing pretty good. How are y'all doing?
Hey, man, we hanging tough, man. I was just telling Larry, I don't know how you feel, but B. Avery, this was probably my favorite episode so far.
It's up there. It's definitely up there. It's definitely better than episode 3 by far. that was a true stinker. But this one right here was a big improvement. And so I'm very, very happy. They answered a lot of questions and also asked a lot. And I'm excited, man, because I was worried for a second, but I am excited. I am excited.
And I'm so happy you showed up because you know when me and you get together, it's a teaching session for Larry when it comes to the comics and translating the cartoons. Because me and B. Avery, when it comes to the cartoons, ain't nobody beating us.
Right.
You might beat us in the comics. And when it comes to the cartoon, you're not beating us on the cartoon.
That is a true statement. That is a true statement.
But we've got a little insight. And B. Avery, I'm gonna replay the opening clip I did. I don't know if you caught it or not, but the reason why I'm playing this is the mid-credit scene was because a lot of what happened in the story, you might have got dejected until you saw what happened in the mid-credit. So I'm gonna play it again, then we'll let you jump back in on the conversation.
This is hell. Am I dead?
Not yet. But you will be unless you come with us.
Yes.
B. Avery, everybody in that scene was a damn Loki. That's what I was explaining to Larry about the black one. He was the prideful Loki in the lure. And they even had a lizard/alligator as a Loki. And we're going to get to see all this. And then, B. Avery, there are some Easter eggs tied to the mid-credit scene that I'm going to get to when we get to the end. But how did you feel about that mid-credit? And did you get excited for where they're going with all these Lokis? And I do recall me and E-Man said they didn't show y'all all these various Lokis for nothing. I remember that on episode 1.
Not only did I get excited, but this scene right here, it brought me back to life from the dead. Because what happened prior to that, I was like, no, Loki. You know, but with this post-credit scene and me saying that he's still alive, I was like, oh my gosh, my heart stopped, but it started back. And yeah, that's gonna be fun. Somebody earlier in my live was like, into the Loki verse, so that's pretty cool. I'm surprised that we're getting a black Loki. Yeah, that's I'm pretty excited.
Yep, but not only B. Avery does it open up into the Loki verse, it opens up the verse that everyone that they have pruned is probably alive somewhere.
I know we're definitely going to talk about it too.
Yeah.
But 1 second, guys, the battery in my mouse went out. Give me a second.
Oh, take your time.
Yeah,
take your time.
It makes you wonder that maybe we know the timekeepers aren't as powerful as they want to be made, they make themselves out to be. So it makes you wonder that, okay, they can't prune people and get rid of them. All they can simply do is maybe send them to someplace else.
Bingo.
And that's
bingo. In my Jason Quill voice, bingo. I was gonna jump on all of that, but I mean we'll get there. And let me shout out Carbro for the super chat. Thank you, my friend. He didn't like the fight with the robots. I mean, this is one time I'm gonna say we didn't need that fight to be too action-packed because they robots.
Right.
From day one, we have all said after B. Avery E-Man, even my homeboy Larry, they all had me in the corner when I was telling y'all that these dudes is evil and somebody's pulling the strings. Y'all looked at me, y'all laughed, and y'all said I didn't know what I was talking about. But you see the name on that hat. You see that name on that hat. It says Marvel. Now let's get into it, damn it. Let's get into it. I can't wait. We got a seasoned veteran on the panel. I'm ready for this. So
I don't expect you to know what you're talking about when it comes to Marvel, though, because you're a DC fanboy.
Program note, ladies and gentlemen. This guy here we go. Program note. For those of you that follow The Shy and the other shows me and Larry do, this young lady that I was talking about that's so thick on this pole, she reached out to me on IG and is going to be on our show next Friday. And she's going to talk about how she got that role. She's going to talk about what she's doing now. And she, her IG page, I will list it so y'all can go ahead and start following her. But she's thick, just like I said. And she loved it. I previewed her on the poster for my trailer. And she's coming to talk to us about everything she can let us know next Friday. Her name is Marquita. So get ready for that. All right, nice. Larry, I'm going to come to you first. Then I'm going to swing over to B. Avery. Larry, they opened up the episode with B. Avery. Are you comfortable calling her Lady Loki now? Are you comfortable calling her? Did she prove to be are you ready to stop calling her Enchantress and we're going to call her Lady Loki?
You know what? I didn't even think about that yet, bro. So you just popping this on me. That's a good, fair question. I guess I have to, that's who she is, so I guess she stopped. I guess she's at that time she was Lady Loki or Loki. Mm-hmm. But I guess at the time when she was a little girl, that's where she got rid of that name and started swinging somewhere else. But technically at that time, she was a Loki. So I guess you're right.
Yeah, I'm ready to finally call her the Goddess of Mischief. Up until last week, for me and B. Avery, the chick was just the Enchantress. I'm ready. I'm ready to go ahead and call her the Goddess of Mischief. And before we get rolling, let me shout out the homie. One Take Big Dog in the building. What's going on, my brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How y'all doing?
Hey, man, I'm feeling myself, man. I love this episode. I'm feeling it. They answered some questions. They gave me a whole lot of Easter eggs. I'm ready to do this thing.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Larry, we're going to start with you, and then we'll go around the panel. They opened the story up by letting us know when and where they took Lady Loki, the Goddess of Mischief. And we all knew that A23 took her. I think we all had an assumption about that. But not only did they take her, but when they took her, she was kind of having a revelation about someone, the Valkyrie fighting dragons in the air, and she's playing with her toys and a little Viking ship, the whole nine. So, Larry, how did you feel about the opening scene?
Yeah, I'm thinking to myself, like, man, they're just going after everybody. Like the TVA is going after kids and stuff and just wiping out their whole existence. And I'm like, my first thought was when they took her, okay, maybe this is why she's still alive, is because they didn't want to just prune a little kid. But then I realized, she just straight up escaped. I was like, the TVA is just on some other stuff. They don't care about anything. They're just pruning everyone, apparently. Mm-hmm. And so yeah, this was kind of cool seeing this. We got a little bit of backstory about why she's so upset. We kind of got an idea also of why she knows so much about the TVA, because she's been dealing with them for so many years. Where Loki just got taken. She's been in this game, looks like, for the last 20, 30 years. So
100 and some years, if you want to be frank about it. But who's keeping 1,000 years? Excuse me, who's keeping record? Right. I'm gonna shift to you, B. Avery, and every time I shift to you guys, it's the same point, but I'm adding a little more to the story. So once they took her, B. Avery, they went on ahead and did their little dust up, reset the timeline. All right. Did you notice that wolf?
I did.
And you know who that?
Yes. Ragnarok. Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. But guess what? The other interpretation of that wolf is.
What's that?
In the comics, Loki had sex and created a wolf was his offspring in the comics. There was a version of that. So it represents that wolf right there, plus what Loki did. And having said that, floor is yours, B. Avery.
Yeah, great opening scene. Like we just talked about, I guess we have to call her Lady Loki now.
Lady Loki.
But this is crazy though, man. She minding her own damn business in her room, playing with toys, not bothering nobody, not playing with no Infinity Stones, not going through time. You know, the Avengers are going through the quantum realm, doing this, doing that. Captain America going back, living a life with Peggy Carter, and she playing with toys, and her life gets thrown away. So I'd be pretty pissed too. You know, she been out of her timeline majority of her life. You know,
almost 1,000 years.
Yeah, so that sucks. And all those Easter eggs right there are cool. But yeah, you know, it was this is crazy. I have a question. Well, no, I just answered it, so never mind. But yeah, great opening. Just sucks that, you know,
my Lord. What in the hell? Spoiler alert. The TVA is ran by a Killmonger variant, and Larry works for them too. Don't mind me though. Y'all continue supporting these brothers, like and support hashtag Loki gang. And we appreciate that, E-Man. And if you guys haven't subscribed to his channel, his link is in video description. He puts out some of the best quality comic material you're going to find. And might I add, he's a Black creator. And y'all know how we struggle in this genre. So go support that, brother. Finish what you're saying, B. Avery.
But you know, but since E-Man brought it up, I do have to just go ahead and remind everyone that Killmonger is the true and rightful ruler of Wakanda.
Man, I'm gonna start using my mute button. This guy don't keep it up. B. Avery, finish your thought, my brother.
You know, I was just saying it's just messed up that she is chilling, minding her own business, and her life gets thrown away. So I understand why she's upset.
Me too. Me too. One take, I'm gonna come to you, but I'm gonna add another Easter egg to the whole thing. The parallel with them having A23 come in to get her goes back to when they first put A23 in the Avengers. She was A23 because the first time we ever seen her as Princess Red Slayer was Avengers 23. That was the first time we seen her. This is her outfit. And if you guys look really close, when you go back to her room on the shelf, they had that same helmet from her Princess Red Slayer right there on her shelf. Having said all that, my brother, one take it away.
Man, the TV. I got to say, TVA. Wow, they ought to be ashamed of themselves, man. TVA basically riding around in a white van snatching up people's kids, man. It ain't right. They need. If you didn't like the TVA at first, at this point, you can't be on board with them, regardless of who they doing it for. Regardless if they know what they doing, it just ain't right. The little girl just out there minding her business. You know, kids out here doing every which thing nowadays. She was just over there minding her business, playing with toys. They done snatched up. They wrong.
But wait a minute. Wait a minute, man. I'm not with the TVA. Me and Larry, we promise y'all we're not with the TVA. But
I'm not promising that.
But there's so much I want to throw into this, but I just got to say this. Okay, let's just talk in reality terms. If you could be somewhere watching a timeline and you knew Hitler was going to grow up to be Hitler, wouldn't it be easier to just go get his ass as a kid?
Wow.
Yeah. You would think so, but you might mess something else up.
Yeah, you also could just like change. You can change the path that a person goes on. Like, I mean, everything is gonna go a certain way, but like it's like the butterfly effect. You can literally like, hey, get Hitler a girl early on in his life. Like, bro, this ain't what you need to be doing. Like, introduce him to somebody.
Yeah,
you don't just let them follow the same path and think, well, if I get you now. If I get you right now, I know you ain't gonna be able to do this. Like,
okay, I got a response to that too.
Like, introduce him to somebody else so he doesn't get his heart broke by the cute little Jewish girl around the corner, and then he goes on a psycho murder spree for the rest of his life. I mean,
well, let me drop this bug on y'all then. Okay, the reason why you can't do that, and I'm gonna leave this an open-ended question. I want you guys to just think. The reason why the TVA can't do that is because there are other Lokis and other realms, and they all feed on each other. And that is based on, where's my evidence for that? I got evidence to back my stories now. Where's my damn evidence? Hold on. Y'all give me, I got evidence. Because
suspect.
Here it is.
Suspect.
Here it is. Those Lokis are all congealing, whether they're in one universe or not. And when they combine, look at what they do to the timeline. So yeah, that's why you just got to go get all their asses, and we're gonna get to that later on. That's why you get them all. But good point. One take. I like that. Like they got me thinking today. So this is another Easter egg as they're getting on through the story. They take and I'm coming to you first on this one, B. Avery. So they take Goddess of Mischief and they're booking her. She's basically seeing the same stuff that Loki saw when he got booked. But did you see how she was screaming? This lets you know that she has a decent heart. When they was trying to capture this guy, they was trying to capture his ass. She was screaming. He is the same guy that was running the computer when they booked Loki. And here he is again, right here. Same guy. Everybody in the TVA is a damn variant. And also, he is another one they were supposed to have pruned, B. Avery. He got pruned. But then he shows back up right here with Loki. So that gives more credence to that post-credit that we was discussing before One Take got here. But I'll give you that, B. Avery. How'd you feel about that whole scene?
Well, it was very nice that we saw that little Loki girl was carrying, and she was like, "Somebody help him." But this scene right here, I got to be honest, man, they don't look the same to me.
They don't?
No, I've seen other people say that a couple of other times. I just don't. I mean, they just don't look the same. I mean, maybe I'm just tripping. Maybe because the mustache is clearly different.
Okay,
but,
let me tell you how I cheated. Let me tell you how I cheated. The credits, man. I just went and read the credits. It's the same dude.
Really?
That's how I cheated. Yeah, that's how I cheated.
I was gonna say the guy on the right looks white, the guy on the left looks Hispanic, but you know,
he does.
I could be wrong. Maybe that's the lighting or something. I don't know. But
I was looking for the bump in the nose, but I couldn't really see it on the full frontal on the frontal picture. I couldn't see the bump.
But
like you can see it a little bit on the profile.
I do see what you mean though, as far as how that ties in with the scene at the very end and the pruning. So you know that's very interesting right there. So yeah, we're gonna chop that up too.
Okay, One Take, what'd you think about it? And does this guy not look like the same guy to you either?
Yeah, I don't see this. I don't see it either. I'm gonna be honest. I don't see it either. They look like two completely different people.
Yeah,
completely different. Y'all got me thinking now with as far as like that guy's supposed to have been pruned or was pruned. Now I'm thinking like, well, if you get pruned, is that just basically their way of, you go to a place where your memories are erased and then you start working for the TVA?
That's where Larry at with it.
Yeah,
I think I'm with you on that because if those two people are the same and he got pruned, that's the only explanation for it, in my opinion.
Wait a minute. Strictly Starlight says so. Basically, their prune sticks are defective.
Oh man!
Oh, they just some glorified glow sticks. They don't really send you nowhere. Larry, jump on in there, my brother.
Yeah, this scene I thought was very cool because it showed that she actually cared about people, and it really makes you wonder about her intentions, or are not so selfish that she's just out for revenge. It may be that she's like and feeling the need to sort of try and protect people from the TVA, which she knows to be monsters, whereas other people might be thinking that they're actually, good, benevolent beings protecting the timeline, and she realizes that they're just monsters. And so, but it was interesting to see that she was, screaming, help him, because I mean, here she is, she's in the middle of getting kidnapped, and she's worried about somebody else.
Right.
So
they didn't put that in there for nothing. They put that in there to chemically and emotionally have the audience bond with the Goddess of Mischief. In the same way they done little stuff like that with Loki. They done that with him too. But you could see that was a moment they wanted you to realize her heart was, I guess, pure in that moment. and that she was pure of heart at that moment. But hell, I was on her side last week. I just wanted her to really show me she's a Loki. And she's done that at this point. I believe she's a Loki. And so now one take, I'm coming your way. So Renslayer, she's got Lady Loki hemmed up in front of the TVA. And she's thinking that she's about to get rid of her. But oh no, Lady Loki grabs her time device and pours her out of there. But not before she mentioned that everywhere Lady Loki goes, everywhere she goes, there's an Nexus event with someone wherever she goes. Break this down for us.
This scene is very, very. It's sad because you kind of you understand Renslayer is doing a job, you know, but at the same time you're looking at him and this little girl up. But I do like the fact that like when we do see like she's a Loki, she's cunning, she's able to get the temp pad and like get up out of there. Now, as far as the Nexus events everywhere she goes, I'm wondering, like I'm still like just trying to wrap my brain around exactly what significance does this person have to the point to where there's a situation where she's about to die and the Nexus event's about to happen everywhere she goes. You know, of course they're constantly following her, but like Nexus events are happening, and then even when she learns how to avoid them, you know, it's still just this constant feeling of like this person can end everything or like branch off and start a different timeline. It's just, I want to know what is so significant about Sylvia, aka Lady Loki.
Hell, me too. I want them to get a little bit more in depth about the range and the scope of these Nexus level events, and I guess we're going to find out within the next 2 weeks. I kick it to you, Larry. How'd you like her escape plan?
Yeah, I thought that was great. I mean, it explains the reason why Ravonna has such strong feelings about this whole situation with the Lokis, and you know, it also just you know, I mean, we don't see it all, but it does explain why she just knows so much. You know, because when we first started, we were like, how does she know all this? You know, how is it that she's out there doing all this? And it's because she's been at it for so long, and she's been able to jump around, obviously, because she took Ravonna's whatever that thing is, and that thing must have fantastic battery life. Because you know, I don't know if they have chargers for those things elsewhere in the universe besides at the TVA. So,
well, you remember if you remember last week, she figured out how to charge her. Remember, she needed to find something with a lot of quantum energy.
Right.
That was last week.
She's been popping around to enough places where she can know where some quantum energy at. She's
well, that's what I was
young.
thinking.
Yeah.
Hey, you heard her say she figured it out over time. She figured out how she could hide places where they couldn't detect her. She figured out how to charge up the time pad. I mean, this is why she's the most dangerous Loki based on what they're saying. So now I'm gonna swing it to you, B. Avery. Talk about this escape she did. She looked better than David Copperfield.
Yeah, she real slick with it, man. I was surprised she pulled all these David Copperfield moves early on. Like she wasn't having it at all. She went just from a sweet little girl playing with toys to ninja gating, you know, stumbling on the feet and flipping an armbar on her wrist. And you know, how the hell does somebody, I don't know if that was you one take or somebody that said, like, I don't know how she was able to know how to use it that quick. You know, because she was playing it like it was a Game Boy or something.
Let's break that down, B. Avery. Let's break that down, because I do have a screenshot of that too.
It would be a DS.
I come prepared. Let's take a look at it. Now. This is supposed to be a clip I'm gonna use later, but let's just take a look at this thing. Now, we've all played with the Nintendo, and how difficult was it to play around with a Game Boy? It wasn't that difficult. Right. To me, this looks like it could be a simple Game Boy. You got the little thumb pad, you got a couple of buttons, and I'm sure they come with instructions. So I'm sure
they're probably about 3,700 pressure pads in that thing. You know what I'm saying? And hotkey combinations. You know, you're talking about a remote control that can warp space and time.
Yeah, why can't they get some higher resolution on there though?
Exactly, I was wondering that too. I'm thinking that too. I'm thinking
It
that
looked
too.
like 8-bit. It looked like an 8-bit dot matrix screen or something.
I'm saying, Larry, when you dealing with such other powerful technology, you know, some things you want to keep space great again. That's
Yeah.
it.
You can't get
Kinda
you a
crazy,
better
though.
screen than that.
That's
No,
it.
I get
Man.
a nice OLED.
Screen don't even got color. Like what you
See,
doing?
if we go by what y'all saying, they might as well have just used the Game Boy. The time pass should have just been a Game Boy and called it quits.
I should have been.
Oh,
All right, Larry, we coming back to you, my man. We coming back to you. I highlighted last week that when I watched these Marvel movies, and in particular the last episode, the way they made it look like another planet was about to crash into this planet, I told you guys it had me geek. As a person who loves science, person who wears NASA t-shirt, person who's been to NASA, who tried out for NASA, I love looking at these different worlds. Love looking at this. And then we get to this point right here when I was feeling a little B. Avery on this. Y'all just seeing all these comets coming down and y'all just sitting there holding hands in front of the water like this is a rom-com and shit. And eventually they start to hold hands and it looks like they was about to kiss. And then this event that branched super far, so far they ain't never seen it before. And I do have questions about that. But Larry, break down that whole scene, what you like, what you didn't like.
yeah, this is one of those things where it's like, if this were in the last episode or something, I'd probably be a bit more worried. But considering that this was episode 4, I just wasn't worried. I mean, not even in the slightest, because I know that they're not getting rid of Loki or Lady Loki. And so I knew there was going to be an out for him somehow. So, I mean, even though it was a cool scene to see, I wasn't at all worried about him. I did like the fact that Loki love was so, you know, was so much of a thing that it caused it to be a Nexus event. I mean, it's like Loki can't find anybody else, and so the only person he can be with is himself. And when he I mean, really, what I saw in this scene, and people may look at it different, I really saw this scene as really sort of a writer's interpretation of self-acceptance. It was like learning to accept yourself and love yourself. And when Loki decided finally loved himself, it caused a Nexus event. You know, it was such a big deal to not just to him, but the entire universe that it caused a Nexus event. So
that's different.
I like Loki love though. Loki love is dope.
I'll say this. I asked B. Avery last week, and B. Avery said no. I said to B. Avery, if it's you and you kids cover your ears, masturbate with you, is that doing something wrong? B. Avery said no. So here you go, B. Avery.
Wait a minute. I said no, as in I'm down with it.
You said one of y'all said no, it's not a problem because it's yourself. You get no on yourself. One take. Let me give one take the credit. Okay, well, never mind. That kills the whole thing. I'm gonna have to say the same thing all over again to one take. So be able to go ahead.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, I wouldn't be smashing myself. That just seemed like I'm smashing my sister or something. But that's just me.
But don't you smash yourself when you masturbate?
Man, that's different. that is completely different.
But it's yourself. It's just that this is yourself, this is just 616 Loki, and the other Loki is 339 Loki.
I thought the scene was beautiful. That purple was dope as hell.
Every straight changes something.
I thought the scene was beautiful. That purple background there. I'm kind of like Larry. I didn't really think. I mean, I was wondering, like, okay, how they gonna get out of this? You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's nothing they can do. But while they were showing this scene, they kept showing them at the TVA. You know, B-15 asking where C-20 is and all that. You know, but it was a beautiful scene. And I'm like you, Lamont. I mean, it was nice to look. I was like, man, that looks cool.
Man.
You know, all these rocks and boulders and meteors just coming crashing down. I even said to myself, yeah, it would be a beautiful sight to see, but I wouldn't want to be there. You know,
exactly.
You know, that would be my doom. But it was dope, man. I like that. And what was the other part you showed? If I'm covering
when they started kissing and going
oh
through,
yeah,
they caused the branch to go
right.
wider than they had ever seen.
Right.
Loki loves-
That's crazy, man. I can't. I hope they stick the landing on explaining this. You know, I don't want nothing to whack. You know, I want a good explanation. You know,
Okay.
I don't want no flirkins or scratching eyes.
God almighty. Wait a minute, man. Don't tell me you got a problem with the cats. You got a problem with
Oh,
what?
Yes.
Be Avery. One take, be patient with me. I got God damn, man. What's wrong with the flirkins, man?
You were okay with that Nick Fury eye patch reveal?
I wasn't okay with that. I was okay with the flirkin.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm just saying I don't want it to be a whack reveal or of why they create Nexus events.
Okay.
You know, I want a good explanation. Like we didn't get a good explanation on why Nick Fury got a patch on his eye. It was a whack reason.
Yeah, they could have done better.
Yeah, I don't want a whack reason for this. I want a good reason. That's all I'm saying.
So let me ask you one more question.
Mm-hmm.
If it is because you're getting the two most dangerous variants combining themselves to do one common good, and that creates this broken line. I'm not saying love, but I'm saying they're on one accord. Would that make you upset, or would you be okay with that?
I mean, I'm okay with it. I just want them to really break it down as to why. You know, I don't want them to just say, because these are two Lokis. If they get together, it creates a super timeline, a super branch, and that's it. That's like, no, I want some more substance than that. I want you know. So
right, I'm with you,
yeah.
and I keep showing this because they mentioned something that y'all know won't gonna float past me. I caught that part, and we almost to it. I can't wait to talk about that part. So I'm gonna go ahead.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like combining two Lokis. If combining two Lokis caused this, something was said during this episode that I'm like, well, damn. If you combine something else, well, that's got to be worse than the Lokis. But we'll get there. We'll get there. One take. Finish us off on this subject.
Okay. I was enjoying this scene quite a bit, actually. The connection between Loki and Lady Loki. You know what I'm saying? I like the chemistry that the two have. You pretty much knew this was coming. This was inevitable. Not only that, it's still that's what I was talking about earlier. Well, one thing I'm a little bit disappointed in, if I'm just completely being honest, is the fact that my theory was wrong from last week. So I told y'all I was 12% most of the time on theories. But and the reason I say that is because I thought that my theory would have helped elevate episode 3, but since they just pretty much went the straightforward way with this, that episode is still kind of like one of the lesser ones. Now, as far as these two, the world literally about to end, and the only thing that's happened is these two are connected, but like you still see again it getting up to that red line. My only question is in this scenario is like, what could possibly happen if they wouldn't have got saved that would have got to that red line, because they were just inevitably gonna die in that situation.
Yeah.
So I don't get where that even goes if they both die. Like, you know what I'm saying? Wouldn't that stop the event? But it seems like it was going, even though that was about to happen.
Maybe if it continued to happen, the Nexus event would have been unstoppable, and then it would have thrown off the entire timeline, and then you would have had, as Ramona said, calamity.
I get you, but my whole thing is they're about to die. like what could have changed in whether they lived or died? Like well, no, I'm not gonna say whether they lived or died. Them living for a few more minutes and possibly kissing or whatever would have happened between those two, it still would have reached that red line. But we know that the planet's about to be destroyed. That's why, that's why they Lady Loki obviously goes to these like apocalyptic events, because so she know things won't change. But this is completely different from the knowledge that we got last episode, or the episode before.
It is.
But I think that's because this is the Nexus event, and before there weren't Nexus events.
What you mean?
I think when she was going, like in other places, when they were able to go to these apocalyptic events, they weren't Nexus events that were being created there. That's why they were able to hide there. They found them there because when they had their Loki love, they created a Nexus event, which showed up on the radar.
Yeah, 100%. What I'm saying is that love was about to be killed off regardless because the planet was about to be destroyed.
See, I don't think that it was. I think what happens if you don't stop it and they die there, and that love has already started a Nexus event and caused a blip in the timeline. If they die there, there's potentially that love just continues to go on. I don't think love dies because two people die. The love still exists. It's just maybe in a different plane or whatever. But that Nexus event is continuing on, and maybe they won't be able to stop it at that point.
Well, I mean, I still don't understand. I'm more of a one take because the planet was about to be completely obliterated. You know, so, like it got destroyed. It was an apocalyptic event before the locals were there, and it was still an apocalyptic event, you know, while they were there. I don't think their connection could stop a planet, a moon from crashing into the planet. Is like what I'm saying.
No, I don't think it's a matter of it stopping a planet from crashing into the other planet. I think it's just a matter of once they start that Nexus event, the timeline gets altered, and once that timeline is altered, it doesn't matter if the planet continues on and crashes up and the big apocalyptic event happens because the timeline's already been irreparably altered, and maybe they won't be able to stop it at that point.
Yeah, but that's the thing. How is it altered if they're dead?
Right.
I don't think that it matters that they're dead. It's like if you live and you do something fantastic and you change the course of history, it doesn't matter if you die. What you did while you were alive continues on.
Right. But that's the problem. They haven't done nothing. They haven't done nothing. That's the problem.
Yeah,
so Larry,
they had Loki love. That
don't mean nothing.
They found Loki love.
That don't mean nothing. That Loki love don't mean nothing.
The Loki love is what showed up on the radar.
Yes, but it didn't get to the red yet. So them connecting and having the love was causing it to get there, but it hadn't got there yet. But what I want to know is, it's just like your boy said, if you could have just let them die right there, you would have got rid of them. But the problem is the TVA has already got plans for these variants. That's why they wouldn't just let them die there. There's something else. I'm starting to think the Beyonder. Now, y'all ain't heard nobody talk about this, but I'm starting to think more. And I mentioned this first episode. I think the Beyonder has something to do with this. That's what I think. Because you could have offed them right there. But what we learned throughout this episode from the post-credit scene is pruning somebody don't necessarily mean they're dead. They're still serving a purpose that the TVA wants them to serve. And then I'm going to talk about at the end some of the backgrounds to that pictures and those pictures of those Lokis that show where they might be sending all these people. So we'll get there. We'll definitely get there. I'm coming back to you, Brother B. Avery. Here we go. So we said last week, three out of the four of us said Mobius was going to be coming back, and he did. So they was watching them in there. Mobius came back and got him, and they take him and go their separate ways. Supposed to be doing the interrogation. Mobius is upset with Loki. Loki is trying to explain to him what's happening. He's not listening. So he puts Loki in a time loop where he keeps getting his ass beat by Lady Sif. B. Avery, break this down. How'd you feel?
When they came and got him off Lamentus, I was like, woo, but the exchange between, Loki and Mobius, he was like, you're the TVA is lying to you. He's like, yeah, and give me one more lying excuse or whatever. That was kind of cool right there. It was nice to see Lady Sith, but I more just like the banter between Loki and Mobius because that's the best part of the show. And Mobius was upset. His feelings were hurt. He kind of felt like, man, I thought I could trust you, have a friend, but here you go over here doing this and that or whatever. And so that was an interesting exchange right there. But I liked it a lot.
I did too, man. I did too. Jump on in there, one take. What'd you think about that whole Loki Mobius exchange? Loki revealing the truth to Mobius. Mobius throwing him in the time loop, getting beat up by Sif. And I'll add one more thing to it with the Sif situation. He got beat up so much that he finally broke down and said he's a narcissist, blah, blah, blah. He's selfish. And Lady Sif says he's going to be alone forever. And she winds up not kicking him in the balls. Expand on it, One Take.
Okay, first of all, yeah, it was a great seeing Lady Sif. I'm gonna start off with the Loki and Mobius stuff, which I enjoy. It's just I think Loki was also in like a tough predicament because one, he's like, yo, in his mind is like, yo, I didn't try to mess over you. Like I was legitimately trying to help and trying to do the obviously trying to do what he could for himself. But then of course Agent Mobius like pretty much don't want to hear that. At the same time, you get like if I'm Loki, I'm still thinking to myself like, yo, you could have just like let me be, you know, and then you put me in this time loop, which is crazy. I mean, if I think if any of us are Loki in this situation, we gonna say what I mean. I think he was telling the truth, but we gonna say whatever to stop getting hit in the nuts. Like that has to be painful. Like he doesn't reset. Like only person resets is Lady Sif. So like Loki was going through some serious pain in that moment. So I don't blame him.
Larry, take it away, my brother.
Yeah, I think this goes back to I think like this part of the theme of this episode with Loki is self-acceptance and love, because this scene was more about that. It was more about Loki being tortured by his own memories and then him finally breaking down and saying out loud some realizations like he's a narcissist and you know he's afraid of being alone and all the other stuff. And so I think it's more of sort of like self-acceptance in this episode. I do like this relationship between Loki and Mobius, and I know Mobius was sort of hurt and didn't believe him, but then he did believe him, and it's still sort of like even when he didn't want to, he still did because he still kind of like Loki kind of got in his head and he was like, well, let me just see what he's really talking about, you know, because if he wasn't, he would have never snatched the thing from Ravonna. Not that we've gotten there, but I think we already know what happened there. So, but I think Mobius likes Loki. We know that Loki likes him, even though Loki will. I mean, he may end up stabbing him in the back later, like people do. Like you know, he's told him Loki is done, God knows how many times. But I still think he's liking him. I think he's like, okay, it's a dude I can chill with. You know, I could drink some mead with this dude.
Okay, I'm with that. And you pivot us to the next point, and you get the lead off on this One Take. So he's dropped off Loki. Loki's getting beat up. Basically, a form of interrogation with Sif, trying to beat Loki down, what may have you. Then Mobius decides to come in here and talk with Ravonna. And she's basically trying to celebrate that this thing is about to be over. He asked her about C20, and she basically says she's deceased. And I think at this moment was when Mobius realized, I can't trust Ravonna. She in here drinking and stuff, just getting right. Break this scene down for me, One Take.
Yeah, Ravonna is just a terrible liar. That's pretty much the part about her is like she does not know how to lie. She's trying to do literally everything in her power to get this dude mind off what's been going on. It's like she's asking him questions like, yo, where would you want to be at? And like she's avoiding his questions about C20 and just basically giving him like, oh, well, whereas when she came in, she couldn't talk no more or something like that. And he like, yo, something about you ain't seeming right, but at the same time, she's still, you know, like chilling. You know, they got a little couple that whatever they got. No telling what they got, but like she trying to like smooth him over, so he'll like calm down and pretty much just like leave it alone. But like I said, I think the biggest thing about Ravonna is just she does not know how to lie, and like she has this like vibe about, I don't know if it's what the actress does or what, or is just, how the story is told. It's like you can tell that like there's more. Like she knows how to portray that. Where like when she tell you one thing, you be like, okay, but you also know it's like it's more than what you giving me, you know. And she was like literally trying to keep him there, you know. I think she wanted to keep an eye on him just so he would probably like leave the situation alone. I think she's kind of lonely from her other other dude ain't really paying her no mind. So hey, she's just trying to confide in Mobius a little bit, and it ain't working.
All I can say is she's acting her ass off, and she's looking her ass off too. But I'm gonna stay off her because B. Avery done claimed that territory. I have no right to say anything sweet about her other than she looks the part. She's playing the part. I give the floor to you, Big Larry.
Yeah, this was a cool scene. I mean, it was one of those scenes where it was like you kind of know how it's gonna play out. It's one of those sort of filmmaking tools that they've used 1,000 times over, but it was still good. It was still fun to see. You know, I was glad he snatched her. I don't know what they call that device that they have.
The time pad.
The time pad. I'm glad he snatched that. I just kind of wish he had found a way to get it back, you know. But I mean, if they did, I guess it wouldn't have made sense for them to come and roll up on him later. So, you know, but you could tell she was dirty. You know, something was up with her. She just, I mean, we all started off hoping that she wasn't going to be, but then after a while, you kind of got to the point where she was like, yeah, she's an insider, you know, she's management and something shady with her.
I think she is going to wind up still being on the good side. Yeah. I do. You got to keep in mind, everybody in the TVA is a variant. The only one who's probably evil is maybe the first, and she could be in the first 15, but maybe the first 15 people that actually got this thing started with whoever is the real Wizard of Oz is.
But the problem with that is that I think that she knows that she's a variant. I think she understands what's going on, and she's okay with what's happening. So I'm not sure that she's going to come around and be a good guy, because I think she's fully accepted her position and what's happening, and she's okay being on the dark side.
Well, here's my point about that. In the same respect that we all thought Lady Loki was bad because it looks like she was killing the TVA out of whatever, and we learned why she's doing it. I think that there's a greater narrative to Ravonna too that we'll learn, like, okay, this is why you was doing this.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You never know what they might be holding over her head. For all we know, and I hate to throw this theory out there as I'm coming to be Avery, if we know she was dating Kang in the comics, for all we know, the Beyonder has Kang hostage, and she's got to do the Beyonder's bidding until something happens where he decides to release Kang or whatever. So I'm gonna just leave that. I'm gonna just sit down on the table and I'm gonna come to you, B. Avery.
I think that may be a bit much now, bringing the Beyonder into the fold. But I like how her blouse is unbuttoned right here. She really put the moves on. And because you know she had the little but she like, hey, let's look at these titties, you know, let's and
why she getting them drunk?
Yeah,
why she getting them drunk?
But he's over there like, Ravonna, come on, you know? We're waiting for marriage. No, yeah, it's cool. She's a horrible liar. Like I mean, it's so blatantly obvious. It's just like, Jesus Christ, you know, like learn some lessons from some people on Earth or something, you know?
Damn.
But yeah, she can't do that. And I was just like, oh, bro, you're gonna get caught still in that temp pad or whatever, you know. But he was trying to be slick with it, you know. But you know, as we'll get closer to it, you know, it didn't work out. But it was a cool scene. You know, she's trying to be slick and sexy, and it wasn't working. So
hey man, it worked for me. I would have told her whatever she wanted to hear.
I wasn't going nowhere.
You can't be sexy when it looked like you had something stuck in your eye.
I wasn't going nowhere.
Hey, that's just an opportunity for me to get right in her face and help her get that out of her eye. You know what I'm saying?
Who?
And boom goes dynamite.
Right.
Who?
Exactly. Right. Where you want to go for vacation? You want to go to Hawaii? Where you want to go, baby? Where you want to go? What I would have said. Larry, we coming your way. So now we get some more on B-15. And I knew when they talked, when last week, when Lady Loki talked about when she enchants people, she opens the memories. I knew they was going to have to go back to B-15. I knew it. So B-15, you know, she takes Lady Loki back to the spot where Lady Loki enchanted her mind, gives her the rundown. Larry, break down this scene. What did you think was going to happen when she came and got Lady Loki?
Man, when she got Lady Loki and I knew she was going to take her somewhere because she had questions. I thought she was going to ask her about what happened to C20, but I think she's once she found out what was going on when she saw those memories and she was like, I want to see more. I thought maybe she was going to show her like Hippolyta and Letty, but since she didn't, she didn't tell us what she saw. But I figured that that she was going to have her do something to that effect. But I really thought she was going to ask her what's up with C20, where's she at? Like thinking maybe she knows something.
Okay. B. Avery, jump on in there.
Yeah, she was tripping balls, and the acting was great. Phenomenal. I want women to win. I'm still just so proud of her and surprised with the amount of screen time she's getting. Not only that, the amount of authority. I may be wrong. What's up, Myra? I think it was you in my chat that was like, shout out to her showing that 4C hair and rain. That was pretty cool too. But I do like the interaction between her and Enchantress, especially when she was enchanting her, giving her memories. And so beautiful scene. And you go, woman, you go.
Yeah,
Can somebody explain to me?
Go ahead.
Can somebody explain to me how she takes her helmet off and doesn't have helmet hair?
Because it's perfect.
She's got a fro.
It's perfect. Things don't work like they do on Earth in the TVA. It's okay. Different. It's different. That's the aspect. It's different.
That's what we're gonna go with.
Jump on.
That's what we're gonna go with.
Jump on in there one take.
Man, I really enjoyed this one because I actually, you don't see it a lot, but I think these two actually have killer dynamic with one another. Talking about Sylvia and B15. Because once, listen, even from the beginning of the episode, like B15 is like, man, she kind of just out of it. She's like, man, something ain't right, though. Something happened in my head, and I know I ain't tripping. I gotta talk to this woman. And so she pulls up on her, and the first thing going through Sylvia's mind, like, what, you want to fight? You want to go one-on-one with me? I'm like, girl, that big beautiful sister's gonna put you down. You better chill out. So I was enjoying that. And then when she just grabbed the only thing missing from that scene was I actually wanted to see what B15 life was like before the TVA. I thought that it would just been like a sweet like send out to the characters. I don't know how much more we're gonna see of B15, especially after the later events. But like, I just really would love to see what her life was like, and that also. It kind of would have like raised a question to me because I'm trying to put the things together with like these different variants as to like, what this person's life was like or what another person's life was like to the point of you have people who maybe know that they're variants, like we were talking about earlier with like Ravonna. Maybe their life wasn't so good and now they're in a better position now, or what if their life was great and then like maybe they can go back to that same spot that they got picked up from. Only thing they had to do is just pretty much obey what the timekeepers tell them to do.
Look,
I want to know if these people.
Hold on, lad. Let me tell y'all something. First of all, B15 is not dead. I have a great hunch we're going to get some of that backstory. She ain't dead. She ain't dead. Go ahead, Larry.
Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say now.
Man, can you write them down, my brother? Write them down. All right, now, B. Avery, we back to you. Now, this is the part we're going to have a full geek fest. Do you hear me? Full geek fest. Your boy done got Loki back from being in that time loop. They're walking down the hall. Loki tells him the whole truth that everybody's a variant. Mobius is still kind of like, I don't believe you, right? And Mobius in this moment reveals that they have gone across this timeline and B. Avery, they have hunted Titans. And for those of you that don't know who Titans are, let me show you an example of one. This right here is a Titan, also known as an Eternal. Only difference is this particular Titan, Eternal, has a deviant gene. He also mentioned that they went after the Kree. And if you don't remember the Kree is who our girl Captain Marvel started out with. The Kree have an ongoing battle with the Skrulls.
Kree and the Skrulls.
And he also mentioned that they go and done got fucking vampires. Did you hear me? Do you hear me? He done said the MCU think
I
they
missed
slick.
that.
Hey man, that's what you got us for. That's what you got us for. The MCU think they slick. They just showed y'all how they're going to introduce damn near everything into the storyline. So we know Mahershala Ali is going to be the new Blade. That's how that's getting introduced. They already about to drop the Eternals movie, which kind of expands upon the Eternals and Titan and where Thanos lived at on Titan. And we've already seen the Kree. The only thing that we haven't seen is Super Skrulls. So B. Avery, talk about this whole scene and this reveal from Mobius.
Right on. I want them to wait before we see the Super Skrulls. I think that'll be too early. But just one word to describe this right here. This is perfection. You know, as soon as he said vampires, I was like, oh, Blade is coming through tough. You know, and so yeah, that's already been announced. But yeah, this was perfect. I mean, I'll just keep it short and simple. It was perfect. I loved it.
Damn. That's short and sweet to the point, like my Kool-Aid as a child. One take, jump on in there. What'd you think?
Well, listen. Are we talking about just the vampires, the Titans, and
whatever?
Okay, I'm trying to make sure because you know your boy know a little bit less about certain things. But I am excited to see that they dropped all that knowledge, and I kind of wish we would give us a little flashback and show us exactly who you done grabbed, But nonetheless, I really enjoyed this scene between these two. One is because I felt like Loki was trying to really like tell Mobius what was going on, and Mobius just like, nah, you're lying. And so technically Loki had to lie in order to convince Mobius that he was telling the truth, which was the weirdest thing because he goes into we have the whole thing where he's basically telling him, oh yeah, we killed off that variant, the other variant, Loki. So he's like, yeah, now you're the supreme Sylvie. So he's like, you're the supreme one, and Loki's like, well, yeah, that's great, and he could tell on a whim, like, nah, bro, you lying to me. You done caught feelings for yourself, basically, And the moment that got me the most, well, two of them in specific. One is when Loki slammed his hand down on the desk and basically was like, yo, I'm telling you, you're variants. Every single last one of y'all variants, TVA, all that's been a lie. And then when he's escorting him out again, and Loki says, I keep forgetting exactly how it goes, but it's like, yo, you're the biggest liar here. And Mobius is like, why? Because I lied about your little girlfriend. He's like, no, I can respect you for that.
Yeah.
It's like, it's about the lies you tell to yourself. I absolutely love that scene.
Yes. This had some one-liners right here. And that was definitely one of them. But you know what? I'm going to come to you, Larry, but I'm also going to transition. Once Loki said that to him one take, he was already kind of on the fence with Ravonna. But that's what made him go back and snatch this time pad. But Larry, jump on in there, brother.
Yeah, it was kind of cool that he went, and I just think part of it is if you don't really know where you come from, you want to know where you come from. And when Loki's saying, nah, man, all you guys are variants, and I think that just sent him down that path where he was going to, even if he didn't grab Ravonna's thing, he was going to keep searching for info. Even if he got rid of Loki, this was not going to stop Mobius from looking for more info on what was going on and who he is and where he's from. Because he's, you don't know. You want to know. So when he grabbed that pad and saw that Ravonna was straight up lying to him, he was like, okay, there's truth out there and I'm going to find it, And what he did, he just went straight back to Loki, and got him and said, all right, you said that they were lying to us. Tell me what's up. And as we know, things went sideways from there.
Oh, yeah. All right. So one take, I'm coming to you. We're going to pick up right where you basically left off. Mobius got the pad. He's watching the TVA member that they snatched up and claimed that they killed, right? He's just looking at her, and he gets a chance to see that damn Ravonna put her damn face in there when she basically told her what was going on. Go ahead and pick up from that point, one take.
I think at this moment, a couple things happened. One, he finally realized, like, dang, I did all this stuff with Loki, and I done called him out. Like honestly, Loki is the biggest apology. I would have been waiting on my apology before you even get me out the time loop. I need you on your knees saying you sorry because you don't. I done got hit in the balls by no telling how many times because you didn't want to believe me the first time I told you what was going on. And another thing, I think this also kind of like shows that Renslayer actually knows exactly what's going on. I think like we were talking earlier about how certain people know that they're variants. I definitely think she's one of them. What is her reason? I don't know. I think there's multiple ways you can go with it, and like pretty much almost there are interesting ways you. Like I said, she could have been picked up from a place where things weren't good for her, so she's in a position of authority now, so she likes that. Or she could still like have a family somewhere, and since the TVA operates outside of space and time, her family that she has can literally still just be in the same spot. So whenever she leaves the TVA, she can get plugged right back in where she came from. So it's just so many different things you got to go with off this. But like, she's definitely wrong for how she did C20 though.
You got that right, Larry. Before I come to you, let me read 2 comments. I'm gonna read Stephanie's and Zaya Latrice. Stephanie Garnett. Earlier, I saw a post that questioned how Renslayer got promoted. Laugh out loud. She knows Mobius' skill set and still tried to lie. And then Zaya Latrice said, this not me. Zaya Latrice said, Stephanie, she's a little loose. She probably did favors to get the chair. And in essence, one of my other theories about this whole time loop is that the person who's running the TVA, honestly, is Renslayer, and she's dating Kane, who's running her. So that could be your connection if they reveal it like that. That could certainly be it, and that would solve Zaya Latrice's theory. That
Zaya Latrice on Demon Time.
Oh, Zaya Latrice says she's sleeping her way to the top, and that's what Renslayer is doing. Jump on in there, Big Larry. How did you like? Let me get back. This whole scene where Mobius it's revealed that Renslayer basically lying to him.
Yeah, this is part of what I was trying to think of before, and I lost my train of thought. Is when one take said that because the TVA operates sort of outside of space and time, that she could end up basically, if maybe they pruned her, maybe she ends up back where her family was, like she had a family and friends and stuff. Maybe she ends up back where she was before because maybe they're just there, sort of suspended in time in a sense. But my question really is like, why did they choose these people? Are these like what they call variants? Are they really variants in the truest sense, or do they want these particular people for some reason? Like, why are they choosing to take these? Like, maybe they're not truly variants in some sense. They're only variants because the timekeepers say we need this particular person or we need that particular person. Maybe because they have some sort of skill or something that makes them useful to the TVA at that particular time. And so I wonder, I don't know. I'm wondering why certain people would become considered variants and others, are not. And why they take some of those variants and bring them in and have them working with the TVA, and other ones just get pruned up. So, yeah. Anyhow, what was the other part you were asking me?
Oh, that was it.
Okay,
that was it. B. Avery, I'm gonna give it to you with Mobius finding the truth, but to comment on Larry's point, everything Larry said is why I said to you, B. Avery, this could be a little bit of the Beyonder, because he was just selecting. It wasn't really random, but he had specific people he wanted to put in his play world to create things to see how these people would work together versus these people, which is basically what Larry just said. How do you determine how you get these people? But I'm digressing here, B. Avery. Just tell me how you feel about Mobius and him finding the truth about Renslayer. Uh-oh, you're on mute.
Oh, my fault. I said if you're going to be stealing and swapping 10 pads, why did you have to go to a whole nother building to look at it? It feel like he should have just kind of went around the corner, took a quick little peek, and tried to get it back. But it looks like his feelings are really, really hurt right now, and I feel sorry for him. And I love this change right after this when he goes back to Loki and just like, hey man, promise me this, man. You need to listen to me, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that was super dope right there. I don't want to go too far ahead, but
go ahead. Go ahead. You go ahead and lead right on into the next scene. Go because I know where you're going. Go ahead and lead in.
And so you know, Loki, he's doing this thing. Mobius goes to get Loki, and now I'm like, okay, they're creating a nice little partnership here, a little team thing, and like Mobius is like the perfect character to me because he just does what I would do if I was in his situation. He uses his brain, you know, he's trying to put two and two together. But unfortunately, you know, he met his demise. And so I wasn't expecting that at all. My jaw hit the floor and rolled down the stairs. You know, when it happened. But yeah, I'll stop right there.
Here it is right here.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. If you started this video with us, you didn't know during the show what we knew at the post-credit of this particular episode. And so it felt like not only did this character die, but some other people died. Well, guess what? What we learned at the end is that no, probably they're not dead. And we almost there. Y'all hold on to your seat, and we almost there. And so one take, I'll let you carry over from this point right here. How'd you feel about them getting rid of Mobius? Did you feel devastated after the way this partnership was going?
Hell yeah. Hey, bro, I didn't see that coming. I'm over here thinking they about to go save the day, but they get killed. You know, they about to take down the TVA. It's time. We finally got Mobius convinced he knows what's right now. He's a man. He gonna get to see what his life is real life. And then they just like, nope, that's not about to happen. We pretty much finna get rid of him. I'm broken. And like even what he was saying before he got took down, the whole what he want to be like, I just want to be where y'all took me from. I'm like, well, the guy got a point, man. I'm feeling for the dude. She said, prune him. I'm like, I ain't actually prune him. They popped him. I'm like, what? Like this is crazy. Oh, God, it's crazy.
I mean, Larry, I'm coming to you, but Marvel got us on that part.
Yeah.
Like, they got us good, but a part of me was feeling like because they are manipulating the timeline, I've always felt from probably last week that if somebody dies, don't sweat it. Kind of, sort of, I've always felt like that. Even before they revealed the end of this, I kind of felt like don't sweat it. But I didn't like seeing him die in that moment. And Larry, you can pick up here.
Yeah, when this happened, man, I was sort of just like, oh, snap. I was like, they didn't. No. But it was, it was hard to believe that they did that when they did it. Because it's like, you know, at that time, like you said, we didn't know that someone may wake up somewhere else. We just thought they were just obliterated. And so, yeah, that shocked me right there. I was sort of left like, where are they going with this story? You know, like Mobius has sort of been, you know, Loki's guide to the TVA. And who's going to guide him now? You know? And
right.
But the thing that really kind of caught me with this scene is when just how quick they were. Like, this is a guy that was a very had been a very upstanding, you know, high-ranking official in the TVA. You know, he was a solid agent. He was trusted, and the guy just pruned him with no second thought, which really led me to believe, you know, these people don't trust anybody. They don't like anybody in there, which explains why Mobius was so willing and so sort of eager to be friends with Loki, not just to work with him, but he really felt like he wants to be friends with him, like he wants a friend. And this would explain why it seems to me like the TVA agents, like you can't be friends with anybody in that agency because they will kill you at any given second.
B. Avery, anything you want to follow up with that, my brother? You're on mute again.
Dang, you know, I'm trying to get to, and I said, nah, man, I'm trying to get to this ending.
Oh, okay.
I was just shocked that it was pruned. I wasn't expecting it, you know. But yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna throw the whole ending together after we talk about this scene. And let's see. I'll start with you, Larry. They're in the elevator, so you know everybody's thinking, "Damn, we finally gonna see the TVA." I'm already saying to myself, whoever they show me, I don't believe it anyway. But this scene was deep for me because Lady Loki wanted to know about her past. And Ravona, whole cold ass, just said, "I don't remember." Drop me some dimes on that, Larry.
Yeah, when they were bringing him up there, and can I go so far as to talk about when they walked into the room at first?
Yeah, you can go ahead and go ahead and careen into that.
So when they were rolling up there, then they go and they enter the room with the timekeepers. My first thought was, these aren't the damn timekeepers. They were up there looking like some It's a Small World animation stuff. I was like, nobody's gonna believe this. These are
you
the
know what I thought,
timekeepers.
Larry? They remind me of Green Lantern when he went to Oa in Ryan Reynolds' film. They look like those lantern keepers right there. And I was like, no way, I ain't buying this for 1 minute. I'm not buying this.
One of them looked like a cartoon cat. I was like, come on, y'all. This is ridiculous. It looked like one of those animatronic things you see at Disneyland or some amusement park. But I mean, it was this scene. There were so many issues with this scene that I had, but whatever. This is the part where for me I felt like the episode was good up until this part, and then it just kind of got dumb.
Oh, okay. B. Avery, jump on in there, my brother. From the elevator to the timekeepers, the fake timekeepers.
Yeah, well, with the elevator, I heard somebody say this, and it's so true. This reminded them of the scene in the 1994 live action Street Fighter movie where Chun-Li was trying to talk to M. Bison, and she's like, hey, this day was the most important day of my life when you killed my father. But to me, it was like a Tuesday. She's, Ravonna is M. Bison and Sylvie is Chun-Li, because that was important to her. She's been wanting to know that her whole life. And she's just like, I don't remember, I think she does remember. I think she's lying.
Right.
But when they go down there and they started meeting the timekeepers, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. We finna see the timekeepers? I was like, wait a minute. I was like, okay, well, they're there. I see them, but this just seems too easy, like what's going on? And I'm like, wait a minute. They seem small. I thought there was going to be like some giant cosmic beings, like were their fingernails or as big as a building, not their fingers, but their fingernails are that big, kind of.
That's Galactus. That's almost like Galactus style.
The living tribunal big, that's what I'm thinking. Like, your body's as big as a galaxy or some shit. Some stuff, That's what I mean. The timekeepers, I'm thinking they was gonna be huge, but
man,
like as soon as they go through the elevator, the only thing you'll be able to see is their eyeball big, but they're small.
Let me tell you what threw me for a loop from the jump. What threw me from a loop from the jump is the fact that you can use an elevator to get to these people that's supposed to be so powerful.
Right.
Hell no.
Right.
Hell no.
Yeah.
Right.
If I'm one of the most powerful entities known to the world, you think you're going to get to me via elevator?
Yeah, that's just weird,
It's a gold elevator, though, man.
But they start talking and doing all that, and and I don't want to go too far ahead, but I was just kind of like, wait a minute, what are we doing?
Jump on in that one take, because we got to get to this climax, man. We
All
got to
right,
get
cool.
there.
Cool. See, Larry pushed it forward a little bit. I'm gonna push it back slightly. You know what I'm saying? Right before the elevator, because it was one of my favorite scenes. It was right after Mobius died, and like you had the scene where they was taking Loki to with later Loki, and like it was just like the score there was great, and like there was a moment during that scene where like he just kind of stopped and just you could tell he just felt defeated that he just lost a friend. And then another moment I thought was super special is like when they're standing next to each other, and later Loki just looks over at him like, "You okay?" Like you could just I like the connection.
And he winked at him. He kind of nodded his head like, "Good."
Yeah, I absolutely love that. And then we get to the elevator scene, and I'm with BA on this. Ravonna definitely knows exactly what the connection is. I mean, or why
the next
Sylvie's Sylvie's timeline was basically like eradicated. So it's weird to me because I still don't know exactly what Ravona's whole deal is, right? I don't know. Sometimes I kind of feel like she's with us. Sometimes I feel like she's against us. And then we get down until we see the timekeepers. Now, I guess I might be the only person on the panel who would think like, oh snap, it's the timekeepers, because I feel like everybody else is like, that's not them. I'm like, why is the timekeepers? I didn't think we would ever see y'all. Like, I didn't think y'all existed for real.
No,
they pulled the wool over you, boy. I'm not ashamed at all.
Oh man. All right, B. Avery, I'm coming to you now, my brother. We down to the nitty-gritty now. So we're gonna summarize this whole entire thing so you can pick wherever you want to go. So they supposed to be down there about to be pruned, excuse me. All right. Guess who walks in to save the day? B15. Not only is she coming to save the day, she releases their collars, but she went to Renslayer's office and got Lady Loki's knife. Throws it to Lady Loki. They gets the fisticuffing. And then Lady Loki, after she beats up everybody, she goes up there and is about to kill the TVA. Well, she takes out one of them, but that one that she took out, he was trying to bargain with her. Do y'all remember when Loki was trying to bargain with his sister, Hela? They had the TVA doing some of that same mess. But what was also funny was when she chopped off the TVA's head, did you hear that goofy, insidious laugh from the rest of the TVA, as if whoever's pulling the strings is just laughing like, you little funny girl, you thought you could get us. And then B. Avery, next thing we know, Renslayer prunes Loki, and I know everybody was feeling some kind of way about that. I wasn't, because I said there's no way you pruning Mobius and Loki and think that we're supposed to believe that they gone for the rest of it. No way. So B. Avery, anywhere in there you want to talk about, feel free.
Yeah, well, first of all, it was just nice seeing Wumi come back and save the day, taking the collars off. It was a cool fight. I even liked the fact that Ravonna got in there. As soon as she kicked the little stick bow staff up, I was like, I bet she can box. And then she picked it up. There you go, right there. Look at the stance. Look at the confidence, like, I will prune you.
Hey,
I
Avery.
loved it.
B. Avery, airbender, baby. She had that joint out like the airbender.
Right. She still lost, but at least it looked cool.
Damn it, man.
And so, but my thing is this though, like, why don't the other guards quit? Because they just finding out that they variants too, unless they already knew. Unless they in on it like Ravonna, you know what I'm saying? Because
remember, I said that there's probably a select group that's in on the whole thing. Probably the first to be appointed. They probably all in on it.
Yeah, but at this time, I was like, wait a minute, it cannot be this easy. You know what I'm saying? They're finna take down the whole TVA like this, and the timekeeper's right there. Come on, I don't know how it was gonna be explained, but when their head fell down and it was showed the robotics, I was like, oh, wow, okay, who the hell is pulling the strings here? What is really going on? And I thought that was the biggest reveal that we was going to get right there, but then they pruned Loki. I'm like, oh, damn, cuz. What the hell is going on? Like, what? Are you serious? I was upset, man. I was upset. And I don't know. I think Ravonna, I think she now feels guilty. That's why she was like, do it. She could have leaned forward on the prune.
No, let's not get rid of her yet. I mean, look, if she would have gave me that look, I would have gave her the stick.
Oh, hey. What's that? I ain't mad at you, man.
Oh, my goodness.
See, one take called it.
I caught it too, but But yeah, it was crazy, man. So much was revealed in this whole little sequence of events right here.
Yeah, man. It was a lot. And one take, go ahead and jump on in there, man, because I'm gonna say what I want to say when I get ready to go to Larry.
All right. So first of all, I'm happy to see B15 fall up in the spot, saving the day and all. One question though, somebody tell me where she come from though? Anybody know where she? Because I could have sworn the elevator had just got there. Did it go back up and come back down? Like, because I don't know how B15 fell up in the spot. I'm still a little bit confused on that. I did enjoy the battle sequence. I think once the fight scene got started, I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, these dudes supposed to be all powerful beings, They can simply stop this if they want to. But
Right.
now y'all seem a little suspect, bro, because y'all really can't. Y'all control the entire timelines. Y'all stop a war apparently, but y'all can't stop two Lokis from fighting in front of y'all. Not only that, why did y'all? I'm still of the mindset. Why did y'all bring them here? You can prove them literally anywhere. They could have died on Lamentis. You could have pruned them when they first got there. Why do y'all have to visually see them get pruned? I don't even think Lady Loki is even supposed to be pruned, because I think every time she like close to dying, maybe that's when the next event starts. And then we get to the moment that pretty much like stopped everything is when she cuts off the guy's head, and I hear the laugh, but I didn't know what exactly that was till I watched the second time. I'm just like, okay, well, I guess it's the person behind it just laughing at everything that's going on. And we see this is robotic. Was your boy a little bit disappointed? Yes. Did I feel a little bit betrayed?
What?
Yes. I looked like a fool because I was believing that they was actually the TVA. I mean the timekeeper. Don't get bad. It's just what it is. The moment that gets me 100% is when once again we got Loki about to masturbate. It's happening right here on screen. It's happening. He put his hands on her shoulder.
Yeah.
I'm like, she's just gonna let it happen. Boom. He gets pruned. I yelled 4 in the morning. I'm yelling loud as hell, thinking to myself, like, this can't be happening. Does the show calls Loki? Halfway through the season, is they gonna change it to Lady Loki? Like, what is going on? Like, I was completely lost for words when this happened. And then obviously we see Sylvie turn the tide on Rinslet, and Rinslet just like, yeah, do it, just like get it over with. And I think she doesn't say that unless she feels some kind of guilt about the things she's been doing. But I'm really ready to see exactly what's really going on with her.
Let me change your narrative a little bit, my brother.
Okay.
Renslayer, we know she's lying. We know she know probably the whole scenario. At this moment, we don't know this, but when you look back, Renslayer probably wanted to send her wherever she was going to go and have Lady Loki thinking that she died, when Renslayer knows good and damn well you ain't going to die.
Oh.
And
damn, I didn't think of that.
Big Larry, take the wheel, baby. I've been telling y'all, don't trust the so-called TVA and that they was the Wizard of Oz. Last on deck before we get to the post-credits, Larry.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I think that's one of the reasons why she wasn't afraid and she was like, do it, because she knew she wasn't going to be dead. She was just going to go to some other place, probably some place where she had been before, or maybe where there's other versions of her or something. But yeah, this scene to me is when it just got dumb, because it's like, here we have, Loki's fighting. They're real clever and they're slick, and then all of a sudden it's like we have the title character with his back turned to we all know that when you fight and you beat somebody up, they don't stay down. I mean, unless you chop their doggone head off or shoot them 150 times, they're not staying down. And so when Loki just straight turns his back to Renslayer, I'm like, this is dumb. I was like, of course she's going to get up and prune him. And then, of course, she did. And I was like, this wasn't even good. I was like, come on, Marvel. I was like, you were doing so good up to this point, up to this stupid scene with the robot head and then Loki getting pruned in the back by somebody he should have never had his back turned towards. But, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I was looking forward to Loki and Loki getting it in, but that didn't happen. I do want to say to Hollywood that in this scene, this is an example of how not to just have a what do you call them? What do you call those scenes when they create black people that just say white folks? I'm losing the words right now.
Magical Negro?
Yeah, magical Negro. It's not. This is how you don't have a magical Negro, because you almost had one with B-15 when she decided to come in at the last minute and throw in the blade and take their collars off. You almost had a Magic Negro there. What saved it was that you also had Renslayer in there as one of the bad guys fighting. So I was like, that is how you do it. That is how you have some balance in there so you don't have a Magic Negro situation. So the rest of Hollywood, if you're watching, take note and follow suit so that we can get away from the whole Magic Negro thing. We already have special Negroes with early access to movies and stuff. We don't need more Magic Negroes.
Who was that?
So,
And by the way, let me just remind y'all, B-15, she's not dead. She just got knocked unconscious. So
are we going to get introduced to B-12?
You should be eating that every day in your broccoli. That's all the B12 you need right there.
Oh, I know B12 is going to be super energetic.
All right, fellas. We to the end, and B. Avery, I'm going to start off with you on this ending post-credit scene. Then we can just round table if you guys want to. So if you guys missed it, there was a post-credit scene in which Loki wakes up thinking he's in hell. All right. And then he hears a voice say, "Not yet, but you better get up." And then he looks and see all these other Loki variants. You got Crocodile Loki, you got Kid Loki, you got Loki from the comics, and then you've got what they call Prideful Loki, which is the one with the hammer. Having said that, did you guys all notice the background? That is Avengers Tower in the background. And then if you take a good look at the city from a long view, this looks to be a post-apocalyptic zone where the apocalypse has already happened. B. Avery, jump on there and talk about this post-credit scene and put this thing all together now that you have seen where they're going with this story.
Yeah, I was like I said at the very beginning, this scene brought me back to life because I was dead with Loki, but I'm glad that he's back. So that's just super dope right there. I'm really curious about what we're going to be doing with this Loki verse here. I'm excited. So many different types of Lokis, costumes. I mean, we're going from a black alligator to an old man boy. That's crazy. I did not notice the Avengers Tower. Somebody else said something to me about that, and I still didn't notice. But I'm excited. It gets me more excited, and I just can't wait to see how episode 5 is going to play out based off all this.
One take, jump on in there.
Listen, when this first happened, I told B.A. this earlier. I said, man, this look like they mixtape cover. Like they look like they finna start a band of Lokis. Like they got some music on the way. You got your little Eminem Loki in the middle. You got the clock on. The black guy gonna be making the beats, and old man Loki. I don't know what he's gonna be doing, but I enjoyed this scene. But my only thing about it, and if I'm being honest, I think I wouldn't mind seeing this at the beginning of next week's episode, and then we you show this, and then you have like the title sequence, and then go into the episode, because I wanted to kind of like muster on Loki possibly being dead or not for a little bit. I still think it's a great post-credit scene, but at the same time, kind of I wouldn't have mind speculating Loki being dead or not for a week.
Okay. Well, damn it, I'm glad I know he's not dead. But even though I knew he wasn't dead, I'm glad they just confirmed it. Big Larry, jump on in there.
Yeah, I'm glad they had this post-credit scene because honestly, I don't think that, well, some people might, but I don't think anybody would have really believed that they killed their title character in the midway through the season. I just don't think anybody was going to truly believe that. But so I mean, to me, I'm glad that they did. But this dude right there, I didn't think that was a Loki. I thought that was maybe like a black version of Thor when I saw it, because I saw the black dude that was big. I saw the hammer. I was like, oh, this is like a black version of Thor or something.
Not only does he have a hammer, I was waiting to see if anybody was going to catch it. Do y'all see what's on top of his hammer?
I can't tell. It's dark.
Yeah, I was looking. I just can't.
Fists. There's 2 fists back to back on his hammer like this.
Huh. There you go. All right.
Okay, now
Black Power Fist.
Yeah, man.
I was really hoping that was a black Thor, because I knew the racist fanboys would just lose their ever-loving minds They would
And
just
you don't
lose their damn mind.
you don't think they losing their mind that there's a black Loki?
They probably would, but not to the same extent as Thor, because there are people out there that actually worship Thor and Odin in real life. So I'm thinking they would have lost their just ever loving minds.
They worship Loki too in real life.
No, but yeah, this whole scene was pretty cool. This right here actually had me looking forward to next week. So
okay,
okay,
cool. I'm with that. Here the
I missed
last
the alligator though. I missed the alligator altogether till you pointed that out. I didn't see him.
There you go, Loki the alligator, man. Hey, they got all your bases covered, and I can't wait to hear that thing talk too. So we'll see what happens. He's gonna talk. And he's probably gonna have a whole lot of stuff to say. My last two Easter eggs, y'all notice they always have something different when they run those post credits. So y'all notice the clock. They've been showing this clock every post credit. Only thing they done a little differently was they added the 4 Lokis in green as hands on the clock. You've got 1, 2, 3, and 4 in green on the clock, which I'm sure that has something to do with them introducing these Lokis. And the other thing that y'all might miss, but I caught it, and it makes me wonder, is he going to pop up? Post-credit scene, look on that table. There's Iron Man and Loki talking on the left.
Yeah, maybe.
That would be interesting.
Wait a minute.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I didn't put that together at all. At first, I was gonna be like, hell no, but then I'm like, no.
Now, every time they put a picture on that table, it came in the series. Every time they put a picture on that table, and that is sure as day. Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr. with the helmet off, talking to Loki. Look like he's shaking his hand.
We're gonna have to see. I can't wait.
Mm-hmm. So everybody, let me shout out all my super chatters: William Lawrence, Kobe, Sweet November came through with a sweet super chat. She always does. And Buzz, Starlight, everybody that came through. IMAX, we're glad to have had all y'all. Even Mar, I can't pronounce your name properly, but I'm glad you came. You always come for these events. Be sure to follow us as we go through the week. B. Avery's got stuff going on his channel. One Take does too. Of course, y'all know me and Larry. We'll be back on Friday. Don't forget to like the video, comment, subscribe, get yourself a life game, share our content, and be sure to leave us some comments on your theories, where you think they're going to go. I think I'm going to actually have a little bit more time in the next coming 2 weeks to start dedicating time for a little bit more of my comic theories and videos that I'll be smashing together. So you guys be on the lookout for all that. Go ahead, Larry.
One last thing. I just want to let you guys know, in case you haven't heard, the TVA showed up in Pennsylvania and wiped out Bill Cosby's prison existence. You know?
Oh,
they went there and changed history. They were like, oh yeah, it wasn't supposed to go down like this. It was supposed to go down like that, and went in there and wiped it out, and brother's out of jail now. Crazy stuff happening. TVA showed up in Pennsylvania. Okay, now we can be out.
I guess we'll talk about that Friday. Don't forget to like the video, comment, subscribe. Till that next Sex is Hell video, we'll see you.